If you're interested in developing a business plan that will help you develop an insurance agency that's successful, then you found the right video. What I'm going to be talking about today is how to create a business plan and the most important fundamental factors to consider in the creation of that plan so that you have a definitive, clear guide to process your ability to be successful. My name is David Duford, owner of DeFord Insurance Group. I train and recruit agents nationally to sell final expense, Medicare and annuities, and ACA under 65 health insurance, face-to-face and over the phone. You can learn more at davidduford.com/FAQ. Okay, let's get started. So what I'm going to do here is not write your business plan for you. Okay, I don't believe in big, complex business plans anyway. But what I'm going to provide to you is a simple process and fundamentals to kind of piece together a business plan. A business plan shouldn't be some like 100-page novella. It should be a very basic, multi-page, couple of pages explanation of what business you're in, what you're looking to accomplish, what you do that's different, and how you're going to actually execute on the strategy. We're going to talk about all those principles and more as we walk through this. And again, the goal of this truly is just to help you conceptualize this business idea of selling insurance, no matter what it is, so that you can present this to an investor or in some way just basically present it to yourself so you've got something in writing that shows you the direction you're going to take. So let's get started. So first of all, you need to set short-term and long-term goals in mind. Begin with the end in mind. What do you see yourself doing within the first year as far as income goals? How much activity do you want to do? What is your life going to be like in 5 years or 10 years? Now we're starting again in a sense with the big picture because I think it's important, especially as I progress now into my 11th year in this business. I never imagined I'd be where I was when I first started. But it really wasn't until the second or third year that I started to really see something greater as a possibility in my business and start to imagine myself again 3, 5, 10 years into the future, and then start to build a vision based off of that long-term perspective. Again, I don't know how most people are getting into this, but it's funny looking back. I mean, I never thought I'd be anywhere where I am now. But most people who get there don't, I think. And they kind of just realize through the process that yes, you can do this, and yes, there is that kind of potential in this business. I say all this to stress to you that you need to just think, you don't need to just think about how you're going to make money tomorrow. You need to be thinking about the grand vision of what this business truly will do for you. There are a multitude of millionaires in this business who have sold their business, who have retired young, who are making money hand over fist in a multitude of different niches. This business of selling insurance is wonderful. The sky truly is the limit, and you need to open your mind to what the potential actually is. It is unlike many other businesses and where you can go and what you can accomplish. And part of your business plan should reflect what your dreams are. Again, think big. You should think big. The bigger you think, the more your mind stretches to make those goals a reality. So set those short and long-term goals in your business plan. Name your niche and explain why you will focus on that initially. So for example, I take agents on who generally focus in the final expense niche. The reason we do that is because I think, generally speaking, the niches are in the riches. In other words, if you become a specialist at something, you generally make more money than the generalist. So I think it's a good strategy in starting the process of figuring out what you want to do in this business to pick a niche. Name why in your business plan it's important, what the potential is, and why it is that you want to focus on this. And this is important because what you're going to run into as a new agent is plenty of temptation. Temptation, especially when the going gets tough, to maybe do something else, to look over your shoulder and where the grass is green on the other side and think a lateral shift to a different product is a solution to your problems. It rarely is the case in this business. All of the products that are out there with enough vision, direction, and action, I believe provide a fantastic opportunity to earn an income and have a great lifestyle too. So it's rarely about the product in my experience and more about the agent's discipline to their supposed convictions. So I think there's again, this is good about writing down a business plan. Writing down why you think a certain way, how are you going to do what you want to accomplish, manifest the ideas in your mind into reality. This is a technique that I've come to love and really appreciate as I've advanced in my business incredibly. The idea and the action of taking these ideas swirling around your head and putting them into paper is the first form of making your dreams into reality. And I think you tend to believe things more as they become reality. So make sure you give this some thought. What are you going to specialize in? What's your niche? Why do you want to focus in that? Why is that important to you? Okay. Next step here, how and when you will add additional lines of business and streams of income. So again, for most of us, starting as a niche-based organization or strategy is the best route to go. But I do believe for those who have consistency and success in this business, that transitioning to other additional business lines is not a bad idea. Because when you do well with one thing, it's easier to unload an additional responsibility. It doesn't cause as much stress to the system than trying to do everything all at once as a new agent. So you need to think about products and other lines of business that would be a good cross-sell. My advice is to pick products that are tangentially related to your primary niche product. Again, for example, in the final expense market, this is why we really teach agents to just cross-sell Medicare, because most of your final expense clients are also Medicare recipients. Likewise, if you start an agent with Medicare, it's a great opportunity to cross-sell final expense because they're all older, they're likely in a position to need life insurance for final expenses, and so it just makes sense. Whereas I wouldn't say, start with final expense and then cross-selling commercial insurance. That doesn't make any sense at all. Those are kind of distant as far as insurance products goes, and you could do it potentially. It just is more complicated because there's not a lot of crossover effect and benefit from working those leads where it's easier to cross-sell. You got to do a whole different line of business, whole different line of clients, and that tends to complicate things that much further, which of course we're always trying to simplify the complex. The next on the list here is decide on how to do lead generation, okay? You need to make a decision on how you plan on generating your leads. What is your vision and plan of action? If you don't know anything about how lead generation is done, start to reach out to people on LinkedIn, Facebook that are in this market and ask them what is the best ways to get in front of prospects. That might be buying leads, it might be cold prospecting or seminar marketing. But you need to do your due diligence to figure out what you're capable of doing and what the possibility and potential is with whatever type of lead generation that you ultimately pick. Again, you are not in the insurance business if you don't have a strategy to get in front of prospects. Insurance sales is a direct sales business. You have to have people to see to have a business selling insurance, and without people to see, you're out of business. So choose wisely, think thoroughly on which kind of lead generations strategies to use, figure out the cost, figure out the scalability as well. That's kind of a more an advanced topic as you get your business higher and higher as far as opportunity goes, and then put that into action, into writing. Last but not least, with your business plan, make sure to set up numbers for leads, activity on a short-term and long-term basis. So we talked about the niche, we talked about your vision, your dream, we talked about how to generate it, but now we have to talk about the plan of action to put it all together. So in other words, when are you going to work? How much are you going to work? What are your initial goals for converting your leads into sales? All business models have kind of general guidelines on what the averages are for sales. Do your due diligence, figure out what that is, and if you got to start with kind of some averages somewhere, but put those into writing. What are your goals? What are you going to do, not just on a yearly or a big term basis like we talked about with your visions and long-term goals, but I want you to drill down to what you're going to do daily. Again, the road to success is done step by step, foot in front of the other. And every step that you make counts towards that long-term vision. It all adds up in the very end. I can assure you, being on that side of things, that every step of the way I did and how I did things have ultimately paid off, thankfully. And you need to take every little thing like this super seriously. And what I mean by this is when it does come to your activity, again, if your goal is to make $100,000 a year, you need to figure out what you need to make per month, what you need to make per week, and what you need to make per day. And really more importantly than what you make is what kind of activity do you need to make daily to hit those type of income goals that you make daily on a daily basis. So you need to get that granular with your estimations. And again, the more granular you get with this process, what you're going to find is the more clarity you're going to see. You're going to know exactly what you need to do to make the money that you need to make. And that is powerful, and it regains control over your business where, in a sense, there's this dismaying sense of randomness, right? I don't know what to expect out of my business. But when you set these activity guidelines, it gives you a sense of confidence and belief that because in the process of consistently doing this business, you're going to struggle, have doubts, but seeing the numbers and then just as important, tracking the numbers, it's going to give you a level of confidence that you can't really get anywhere else. So that's it, guys. I hope this business plan video kind of helped you out with some directions of what you need to do to put together a quality business plan. It doesn't need to be complicated. It needs to be simple, just like this business needs to be simple. But go through this whole process. It'll help you have clarity in the business and help you give you the best opportunities available. Feel free to check out daviddeford.com/FAQ if you're interested in joining DeFord Insurance Group. And as always, thanks for watching. See ya.